Alright everyone, welcome to Deep Dives with Dogs. Well, today we're going to talk about the Holy Roman Empire and more of its collapse, really, but give more context to that as well. The Holy Roman Empire, there's the Voltaire quote, at least I believe it's Voltaire, but very famous quote that it's not really holy, it's not really Roman, it's not really an empire. The empire part, not technically true, but the other two, kind of, yeah. Especially the Roman part. It's not Roman. It wasn't even started by a Roman. It was started by Charles the Great, or Charlemagne, King Charlemagne. It's part of his empire. When he dies, it becomes East Francia. East Francia evolves slowly and then eventually becomes what is the HRE. There's a little bit more into it. There's West Francia, East Francia, and then Lotharingia. Lotharingia is the land between what is France and Germany today, a lot of it, and that gets absorbed into both the East and West Francia, creating the two nations, France and the Holy Roman Empire. The Holy Roman Empire is quite the beast of a state. There's not really been anything like it before and not since either. It is honestly quite impressive that they managed to make that thing go as long as they did. It's basically a bunch of German kingdoms, German states, that all are technically together, they work together, and they, in turn, vote on a king. Now, voting obviously only belongs to the elite, the prince electors. Those electors are the ones that then vote among themselves who should be emperor of the HRE. There have been many famous emperors of the HRE, and the HRE has had decent political power and military power, but the problem with the HRE is it's one of those states that, not everyone has to participate as much and all this or that or whichever. It's kind of what leads it to be so disorganized. It's a very disorganized empire, very dysfunctional. And it causes a lot of issues for the emperors trying to actually, run the empire in a way that would be efficient. The HRE obviously doesn't exist any longer. In its place is Germany now. Part of the reason for that is Reki. Calm down. Is actually not part of it, but a main reason for that is one Napoleon Bonaparte. Napoleon just got himself all caught on Rocky there. What a goober. But Napoleon, of course, likes to win wars, you could say. So he fights a lot of the European powers. They try to destroy France. They don't want their revolutionary ideas to spread, so they attack quite often through the coalition wars, and Napoleon fights them. One of the main people that gets defeated multiple times is the HRE under Francis II. Francis II, King of Austria, Austria-Hungary, really. That's a whole other thing that comes out of this. But King of Austria, he sees, after many of these defeats, his political control, his influence, all this basically evaporating. And he thinks to himself, and really pretty reasonably, well, what's the point of the HRE anymore? We can't beat Napoleon. Our influence is basically completely diminished. Rocky. Neighbor's leaving, so he's got to bark at him. But The political power is just diminished. What's the point? So, Francis II, 1806, on August the 6th, 1806, dissolves the HRE. This is pretty huge. All the German states that were one nation, technically, you know, quote unquote nation, are now to fend for themselves. It's a bit scary. Of course, there would be alliances. You know, these people fought with each other and have been with each other for a long time. There'd be alliances that crop up. But one of the more important things that comes out of this is because the HRE is gone, it allows Germany to come into being, really. It won't be that long after this. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, only 80 years, really, for Germany to come into existence. And a lot of it has to do with, now that these German states are free, now they can form an actual government combined. You know, before they were like, oh, well, we're kind of, you know, a big government, and then, so why do we need to actually combine? But, yeah. It's funny to think it took not even a Frenchman, but an Italian, more or less, a Corsican, to destroy an empire that had been around for 1,000 years. You know, this is a very important empire, very big in European history and all this stuff. It took all this time, and it now is but a page in the history books. Just interesting. But that's going to do it for this video. If you guys liked the video, leave a like. If you have any ways could improve on these videos, leave a comment down below. I just appreciate your feedback. And as always, subscribe. It really does help out the channel. Thank you. Oh, I gotta fix Jasper here.